Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas break and you guys do something fun and that you enjoy. I know I had a really great time. It was nice just being off and being lazy. We're going to try to get back into the swing of things. We're starting a new unit now. We're going to be working on Unit 6. So that's kind of our plan today, kind of do some review of things you've already learned because Unit 6 deals a lot with exponents. So we're going to review that and get our journal set up for this quarter. And I'm going to try to explain to you kind of what the journal is going to look like. You do not have school next Monday, so we only have 4 days of school. And then next Monday, the 18th, we're off again. So that's kind of nice. Okay, so if you go to Canvas, this is the modules page. Here's your attendance check-in. So I'm on modules. Scroll down to the bottom and got your video, and then here is your journal setup. So we're just going to be working in the journal today. You don't have an assignment that you're going to actually turn in since we're just reviewing. So you'll click here and it's going to bring up this tab, and you need to say make a copy. And when you say make a copy, it's going to bring up this file right here. And then you can come and type your name here. And then on this, also type your name in right here. Okay. Now for your table of contents, this is going to be Unit 6. We're going to start off with Lesson 1. We're going to call this a review of exponents. So you can fill that in. And then you can link it. It should be linked to slide number 4. You can see. So if you highlight the words, hit link. And slides in this presentation. And we want to do slide 4. And you hit apply. Now, this is all of the slides for Unit 6. So this is going to take us through, guys, into February. So you won't have to add any more slides until we get to Unit 7. So this is your journal. Now, it's a little different. I'm going to tell you, in school, we have been using a digital journal on campus students as well. But I am switching them to paper journal. And they're going to keep a 3-ring notebook binder. So if you have a printer at home, I highly would suggest that you print all of these pages out. First thing I would do is on the ones that I have put text boxes for you to type in, I would click and I would delete the text boxes. Okay. I would go through and I would delete all the text boxes, and then I would go and I would hit print. Because since we are dealing with exponents this unit, and from here on out really, in Algebra 1, it's going to be extremely hard to type math like this into Google Slides. And that's what we need to do. So your other option is, if you don't have a printer at home, that's okay. You still may want to delete all these text boxes and get you a piece of paper, write these problems down, and then I would just insert an image. Up here, insert image, camera. I would click that, or upload an image from your computer, either one. I would take a picture of you working these problems on paper and just inserting them in here. I think that's going to save you a lot of time. I'm going to be working all these problems with you on my iPad, using my pencil on my iPad and writing on it that way for you. But yeah, I highly suggest that you don't try typing your math on this. It gets really difficult when you were working with so many exponents, and we're going to be working with a lot, as you'll see. Most of these pages like these, I haven't even put text boxes on here because it would just be impossible for you to type correctly in all of these. So that's what I suggest. Again, if you don't have a printer, no worries. Write the problem down on a piece of notebook paper, then take a picture of your notebook paper and just put it on top of this. I'm completely cool with that too. Okay, so what we want to do today is we want to start here, Unit 6, Lesson 1. So I'm going to bring this up on my iPad. Here we go. Let me make this a little bit larger here. Okay, so this is the same page, same file. I'm going to go down. This page here, objective, this is, let me let my computer actually catch up with me here. It lags sometimes really bad. This Unit 6 objectives page, this is everything that we are going to learn this in Unit 6 right here. So it's always good to take a look at that and see what's coming up. There might be some things that look familiar. Okay, so here we are, Unit 6, Lesson 1. So the plan is just to simply just review. Okay, so when we're talking about exponents, now this is not new. You guys have learned exponents. You should know what to do with them, and this is going to help us remember. So the first thing we want to know is the little number at the top, that is the exponent. Okay, the big number is what we call the base. So those are some things that we need to remember. So we actually have the exponent or the power. It's also called the power. And then we have the base. So let's review a little bit of vocabulary. The base is the number that's going to be raised to a power. The exponent or the power is the number of times to use the base as a factor. Okay, and a factor just means something that you're multiplying. That's all that a factor is. It's being multiplied. That's a word that we're going to start using a lot. Remember, you can pause the video at any time to catch up. So a base that is squared, now this is important. Squared is a word we use a lot, is raised to a power of 2, such as this 4 is squared. We call this 4 squared, 4 to the power of 2. And if we say that it's cubed, if it's been raised to a power of 3. So those are special terms for powers. Otherwise, we just name the power. And so I'll give you some examples down here. So some rules to remember. Any number raised to the power of 1, the base just stays the same. So for instance, 5 to the power of 1 is just equal to 5. 2 to the power of 1 just equals 2. 1 to the power of 1 just equals 1. It doesn't change. So basically, anytime you see a number that does not have a power written, oh, the power actually is 1. So anytime the power is not written, it is 1. It's understood to be 1. So let's expand these. So I want us to practice reviewing what does it mean to have a power. For instance, what does 1 to the 5th mean? Well, it means to take 1 and multiply it times itself 5 times. So that means to say 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did that 5 times. Well, 1 times 1 is 1, times another 1 is 1, times another 1. It's just going to equal 1, right? Okay, so let's do it again. What is 3 to the 4th power? Oops, my thing just went up on me there. 3 to the 4th power. Well, that actually means to say 3 times itself 4 times. So that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. What is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3? Now that can become a really large number really quickly. So you can use a calculator to help you out with that, or we could try to figure out in our brains. Well, we have 3 times 3 is 9, times another 3, oh, that's going to be 27, times another 3, well, 27 times 3, I'm not even going to try to do that one in my brain here. I'm going to pull up my calculator real quick, because I think I know what it is, but, I don't want to tell you wrong. Let's see. Calculator. So we need to say, we're saying 3 times 3, which equals 9, times another 3, which equals 27, times another 3, which equals 81. So this actually equals 81. I'm going to erase this over here because I don't want you to get confused with the next problem. Okay, so let's work a couple more together. What is negative 6 squared? Now, 3 and 4, these actually get really confusing. So negative 6 squared means to take the negative of 6 squared. That's negative 6 times 6, because 6 squared is 6 times itself twice. Well, 6 times 6 is 36, and the negative of that would be negative 36. Now, negative 6 in parentheses squared, on the other hand, means something different, and hopefully you were starting to remember these differences. If it's in parentheses, that means take everything in the parentheses and multiply that. So that actually means to say negative 6 times negative 6. Oh, well, a negative times a negative becomes a positive. 6 times 6 is 36. So to whereas this one over here was negative 36, over here, this one is positive 36. So there's two differences. And if you type those in your calculator, both of those ways, you're going to get two different answers, negative 36 and a positive 36. So it's important to remember what we do with negatives when there's parentheses present and when there's not. Because this is actually saying to take this stuff, everything inside here, and multiply times itself twice. This, on the other hand, is saying to take the negative of 6 squared. Okay, what do we do with fractions then? What's 1/2 cubed? Oh, well, that says to take 1/2 and multiply it times itself 3 times. That's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. Now, in order to work this out without a calculator, we have to remember how to multiply fractions. So multiplying fractions is no big problem. It's the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. So all you do is multiply all your numerators and then multiply all your denominators. So 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. And then 2 times 2 is 4 times another 2 is 8. So that's actually 1/8. So I'm hoping that we're getting this, we're remembering now. Okay, so it just means take whatever you're raising to a power and multiply it by itself that many times. I'm not going to do 6. I want to see if you can do 6 on your own. So I'm going to look at number 5. Well, then what does x to the 5th mean? Well, it means to take x, the base, the big number, this in this instance is a number we don't know, so it's a variable, multiply times itself 5 times. That should be x times x times x times x times x. Try to get them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 x's. Now, I don't know what x is, so I can't give you a final answer here. That's just I've expanded it. I took my power and I've expanded it. You can do the same thing with number 8, a's. That's a multiplied times itself 4 times. Expand that out. Okay, so now let's look at number 9. Now we want to go backwards. They're saying I have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's multiplied times itself 5 times. So this is actually 11 to the power of 5. So now I'm going from it being expanded to taking it back to an exponent. Okay, we'll look at number 10. So this is a tricky one. I have negative 5 multiplied times itself 1, 2, 3 times. So it's to a power of 3. Now remember up here, we said there was a big difference in whether or not we need to put parentheses around it. So because I have a negative 5 3 times, I need to make sure I take that negative and multiply that out 3 times. So the whole thing needs to have parentheses around it. Otherwise, if I don't put parentheses, I'm going to get a different sign. Especially if you put it in the calculator, you'll get a different sign too. So parentheses can be real important when you're dealing with power sometimes. Okay, so that's it. That's a quick review of exponents. Hopefully it's jogged your memory. And we're going to keep using this idea of what does the power mean? It means to multiply the base times itself however many times, whatever the number of the power is. So that's what we're going to build on, and we'll come back tomorrow and kind of get into just a little bit more algebra and not so much review.